Help.
Engaged.
Welcome back everyone, to what will become the bonus mission. Apparently, the mission Tong gives us in this episode, is only available if you have pre-ordered the game.
You disappoint me, Jensen. I thought we were friends. Then my hacker goes missing. You break into my place of business, and you don't even have the manners to knock when you enter our room. A lot of bell tower heavies looking for you, and you reason I don't just turn you over.
Yeah, Vasily Sevchenko.
Never touch the stuff.
You're wearing his arm. GPL device inside it led me straight to you.
Scavenged tech. Get you every time. Wrong woman, don't do that here. Sorry to say, the man I got this from wasn't in a position to complain. Bell Tower gave us his corpse a few weeks ago.
Bell Tower? Not Tai Young?
Tai Young's not the one grabbing people off my streets and giving me choice arg, so I close my eyes.
Sevchenko had 4 other scientists with him.
I'm not wearing any of them. So maybe they're still alive, and maybe I help you out with this.
Go on.
I've got a pretty good idea where Bell Tower's been dragging people. Problem is, bastard's got my son. And he gets a bullet if I step out of line. See where I'm going with this?
Where's he being held?
One of my harvester boys will tell you all about it. Meet him in the sewers near the Alice Garden pods. Then, when you free my boy, come back and we talk some more.
I can hardly wait.
Before leaving, make sure to grab this laser rifle, because it will come in real handy near the end of the game. More details nearer the time.
Access granted.
In the second email, there is talk of a cloaking device, which is of relevance later on.
AIDS isn't the only virus making a comeback. Tuberculosis is back in the game too.
Granted.
Let's just hope that this is just a wave and not a prelude to the depopulation plan shifting into full gear.
On the way to the objective, I decided to upgrade something. Once again, our objective is just below the Alice Garden pods. According to the loading screen, the bonus mission is being loaded.
You one of Tong's boys?
No. I just like hanging out in the sewers because they smell better than what I eat for breakfast. Any other stupid questions?
Not yet. But if I come up with one, I'll be sure to ask. Where's the kid?
We thought he was in the upper city, holed up nice and tight inside the bell tower compound. But, as it turned out, the fox got nervous. Didn't like the look of Tong's flex stick, so they moved his son someplace safer.
What could be safer than inside Bell Tower headquarters?
You're about to find out, migrant. They're holding him just around that corner in the basement of an old noodle factory. Won't be easy getting him out either, because the men guarding him aren't your typical Bell Tower police. These are warriors, specially trained, heavily augmented.
I have a feeling I may have met them before. If that's the case, you got an escape plan?
You are the escape plan, my friend. Didn't Tong tell you? If Bell Tower finds out anyone else is involved, things are going to get very ugly in Lower Hengsha.
So Tong's willing to risk his kid's life on one man's abilities?
Not necessarily. When you get to Tong's son, give him this. He'll know what to do with it. Now get going. Wouldn't want you to miss your next ride.
There is a path through the green smoke, further on, but we will not be going that way for now. I will however show more of that path later on. This area is known as the Old Noodle Factory. Our objective is past those laser beams, but there are at least 2 other paths to reach it. So let's explore a little more. There is a path through here. And yet another path through this wall, which is probably the quickest route, since we could free the hostage and be out of here within a few minutes. But let's not get hasty. We are inside the building, and the laser beams are behind that door. The main factory area is through that door, and we will have to go through eventually. There are some sleeping quarters in this room. After taking care of this guard, be sure to grab the grenade launcher ammo. This door is a back entrance into the building, through the green gas I mentioned earlier. There is also a vent that leads to the main factory area.
Access granted.
This device deactivates the laser beams, and as you can see, the lasers are gone. So, the main factory area, 1 guy above, 3 patrolling below, and 1 inside the room, so that's 5 in total. It is best to take out the guy above, first. This vent leads to the sleeping quarters. Taking down these 3 can be tricky, because once you take them down, you will have to move the bodies pretty quickly too. This final guy is known as an ogre, and taking him on directly would be a mistake, because he too has a typhoon-like attack. A sneak attack is definitely the way to go. 3 cells along here, each with a camera inside. And there's the guy who was standing by the punch-through wall we saw earlier.
Who's there?
Tong's son is actually a character from the first Deus Ex game, a hacker by the name of Tracer Tong. Just thought I would mention that, in case like me, you haven't played the first game.
Access granted.
Time to take care of the cameras, and the door. This is where I will exit, so might as well make it now.
You Tong's kid.
So my mother keeps telling me. But you are neither bell tower nor Chinese. Am I to assume my honored father is covering his back by sending you in to spring me instead of his harvesters?
Wise assumption. Let's get out of here.
I don't think so. Last time I checked, bell tower had a lot of firepower out there. I'm not willing to risk my neck on the unlikely possibility that you neutralized all of it. No offense, American.
None taken. I wasn't crazy about the odds myself, but when I questioned it, I was told to give you this.
Well, well. Way to go, Father. This changes everything. Assuming they reassembled it correctly. You ready to go?
Tell me something first. How the hell was Bell Tower able to nab you?
Whatever do you mean?
Come on, kid. I may not be 100% up on the triads, but I'm betting your dad's not far from becoming a dragon head. I find it highly unlikely that the local authorities could just waltz in and take off with his son.
Under normal circumstances, you would be right. But in this case, I'm the one who waltzed over to them.
You volunteered to be kidnapped? Why?
Let's just say, my father and I do not share the same love of augmentations. I find them dangerous and not something our family should be putting so much trust in. But father expects me to... how do you say it? Follow in his footprints? So a change of scenery is required.
I'm not following you.
Tong Si-hung would never willingly allow his only son to leave his side. I needed a way to convince him that I had to leave Hengsha immediately.
So you orchestrated the kidnapping. You're playing with fire, kid. By pitting the triads against Bell Tower, you've put the entire population of Lower Hengsha at risk.
That may be true. But you are here to rescue me, aren't you? So my plan seems to be working this far.
Right. And sometimes the more power you think you have, the more quickly it slips from your grasp.
I will try to remember that, American. Are you ready to go now?
We already know what the device is, thanks to the email we read earlier.
I'd feel a lot more confident about things if I knew what the device was and exactly what you intend to do with it.
You mean they didn't tell you? Not surprising, I suppose, given how much Father enjoys his little secrets. I assume you've noticed how his harvesters like to repurpose existing technology?
If you mean steal it from other people and sell it to new customers, then yeah, I noticed.
Not necessarily a practice I approve of, but not everything gets resold. Sometimes it is taken apart and reassembled into something more useful. A handheld version, for instance, that doesn't need to be implanted in the human body to work.
You're still not telling me what that thing is.
Easier if I just show you. So, shall we leave?
Yeah, but stick close. Your father and I have some unfinished business to take care of, and it all goes to shit if I don't get you back to him in one piece.
Don't worry about that. I'll make sure Father sticks to his promise. Maybe even get him to throw in a little extra. But as grateful as I am for your assistance, from here on in, it's every man for himself. See you later.
Time to get out of here. Before we leave, let's take a look at the path through the green smoke.
Access granted.
This door leads to the sleeping quarters. Anyway, back to Tong.
You have talent, Jensen. You ever need a job, you tell me. I'll hook you up.
I take it the kid made it back in one piece?
He says I owe you a weapon. I always repay my debts. With interest.
That's one debt paid. Now tell me what you know.
Bell Tower keeps 2 ships in port. They think nobody notices, but I keep an eye. Every couple of days, one of them loads up in the middle of the night and sails out.
Heading where?
A wise man doesn't ask. I just know the Hengsha pulls out tonight. And where she make port, I bet you find your scientists.
That's a whole lot of maybe, Tong.
True. But maybe you lucky more times than I can count.
Bell Tower runs tight security. How do you expect me to get on their ship?
One of my boys will leave a package inside a locker for you in an equipment shed. You find it, we talk, and I tell you what to do next.
I'll be waiting with bated breath, I'm sure.
I took out the Namir boss in 13 seconds with this grenade launcher, so I would recommend you hold on to it. And that's about it for this time. Please comment, thumbs up and subscribe if you like this video. And remember, you can watch the entire walkthrough in the correct order at my website. Goodbye.